In a world where extraordinary meets the unimaginable, meet the pencil twins, Abby and Brittany, whose shared journey defied all odds. From the moment Mike Hensel first held his daughters, he knew life would never be the same. Their unique condition, with two heads sharing one body, is more than just a physical challenge. It's a story of resilience, heartache, and heartwarming choices. On their wedding day, as they take their first dance, secrets are revealed, and the reasons behind their silence come to light. This is a journey of survival, love, and the untold truth no one expected. The first warning sign, a father's initial fear and love. The sterile scent of antiseptic filled the air as Mike Hensel sat in the hospital room, his heart pounding with a mix of emotions he couldn't quite define. His hands trembled as he held his newborn daughters for the very first time. Abby and Brittany, perfect in their own way, lay in his arms. Their small faces were framed by tiny tufts of hair, their bright, curious eyes staring up at him, each with a smile that seemed to light up the room. But there was something fundamentally different about them, something no father could have prepared for. Despite the beauty of the moment, the reality of their shared condition was inescapable. Abby and Brittany were conjoined twins, a rare condition that occurs in about 1 in 200,000 births. It was clear from the start that this would not be an ordinary journey. Mike was in awe of their strength and the depth of the bond they shared, but as a father, he also felt the weight of an immense responsibility. The doctors had given them a grim prognosis, with fewer than 1 in 100 conjoined twins surviving their first year. It was a sobering reality for any parent, but especially one who had just laid eyes on two innocent faces that held the promise of a future no one could predict. As he sat in that hospital room, his mind raced with 1,000 questions. Would they survive? What kind of life would they lead? How would he and his wife, Patty, cope with the responsibility of raising two children who faced such an immense challenge? But through it all, one thing remained certain: his love for them. His heart swelled with pride and tenderness as he gazed at his daughters. Even in the face of uncertainty, Mike knew that no matter what the future held, he would be there for them. The diagnosis, conjoined twins and the road ahead. Mike and Patty's world was turned upside down when the doctors first delivered the diagnosis. The condition was more complicated than they could have imagined. Abby and Brittany were conjoined at the torso, each controlling one side of their shared body. Their heads were separate, but the complexity of their physical connection made it clear that they were facing a challenge that few had ever navigated. The doctors were honest with them from the beginning. The medical risks were significant, and the chances of separation were slim. Even if the surgery was attempted, it came with enormous risks, including the possibility of death or severe complications that could leave one twin severely disabled. The Hensels were thrown into a whirlwind of consultations, research, and discussions with medical professionals. They considered every possibility, weighed every option, and wrestled with the heartbreaking reality of their daughter's condition. The idea of separation surgery was on the table, but it felt like a gamble with their daughters' lives. How could they make such a monumental decision, knowing that every path seemed fraught with uncertainty? And yet, they both felt something deep within them, a profound desire to keep their daughters together. No matter the challenges, no matter the risks, they couldn't fathom a world where one twin might live without the other. Their connection, their bond, was inseparable. As time passed, the challenges grew. Abby and Brittany faced obstacles that no child should have to endure, but they were not alone. They had the support of their parents, their extended family, and a community that rallied around them. Mike and Patty fought alongside them every step of the way, determined to give their daughters as normal a life as possible. But it wasn't easy. Every milestone, walking, feeding themselves, learning to speak, was an immense challenge. Every day brought new struggles, but it also brought new triumphs. Learning to live together, the struggles of growing up. From a very young age, Abby and Brittany showed an incredible determination to live life on their own terms. They understood that their physical connection made them unique, but they never saw themselves as different. To them, they were simply Abby and Brittany, two girls who shared a body, but who were very much individuals. Learning to coordinate their movements was no small feat. Every step, every movement required perfect synchronization. They had to learn how to walk, run, and move in harmony, each controlling one side of their shared body. But despite the challenges, they were determined to succeed. Mike often marveled at how the twins managed to navigate the world. They learned to walk, to play, and to interact with other children, all while adapting to the complexities of their condition. They learned to ride bikes, to swim, and even to drive. Mike often jokes about how the girls' chatter while driving made him nervous. With one twin steering the wheel and the other managing the pedals, their constant conversation seemed to distract him. But he admired their ability to work together so seamlessly. Despite the challenges, they never complained, never gave up. They were a team, and their connection was something that no surgery could ever replicate. As Abby and Brittany grew older, they continued to defy expectations. They excelled in school, made friends, and pursued their interests with passion. They learned to play musical instruments, took up sports, and began to carve out their own identities. But even as they achieved so much, Mike could never escape the worry that haunted him. How would the world treat them when he and Patty were no longer around to protect them? What would happen when they faced the world on their own? The decision to separate or not to separate. The decision to keep Abby and Brittany together was one that Mike and Patty wrestled with for years. The idea of separating them was never something they took lightly, but the more they thought about it, the more they realized that the girls' bond was something unique, something irreplaceable. They couldn't imagine a world where one twin lived without the other. It wasn't just about their physical condition, it was about their relationship, their shared experiences, and the life they had built together. The thought of losing either twin was unbearable, and so they made the decision not to pursue separation surgery. It was a choice that would shape the rest of their lives, a choice that would ultimately lead to a life filled with joy, challenges, and triumphs. But as Mike often reflected, it was the right choice. Abby and Brittany were thriving, not just surviving, and they were doing so together. Public life, the pressure of the spotlight. As Abby and Brittany grew older, their story began to capture the attention of the world. The media was fascinated by their condition, and the public wanted to know more. At first, Mike and Patty were hesitant to share their daughter's journey with the world. The scrutiny was overwhelming, and Mike worried about the impact it would have on his daughters. He wanted to protect them from the judgment, the questions, and the invasive nature of the media. But Abby and Brittany were eager to share their story. They wanted people to understand that they were not defined by their condition. They were not medical curiosities or anomalies. They were simply two young women who happened to share a body. They wanted to show the world that they had dreams, hopes, and aspirations just like anyone else. And so, at the age of 6, they made their first public appearance on a television special. The response was overwhelming. People were captivated by their courage, their joy, and their ability to overcome challenges. It was a turning point in their journey, and it made Mike realize that maybe sharing their story wasn't such a bad thing after all. Growing up, overcoming obstacles, and achieving dreams. As Abby and Brittany entered adulthood, they continued to defy expectations. They graduated from high school, went on to college, and even became teachers. They navigated a world that wasn't built for them, but they did so with grace and determination. Despite the physical challenges they faced, they never let their condition hold them back. They learned to drive, to travel, and to live independently. They carved out careers for themselves and built fulfilling lives that were uniquely their own. Mike watched with pride as his daughters stood in front of a classroom, teaching young children and inspiring them with their story. They had taken the life that he and Patty had fought so hard to give them and made it their own. They had taken the hand they were dealt and turned it into something extraordinary. The secret, the unseen struggles, and the hidden truth. Yet, behind the public smiles and achievements, there was a secret that Mike had kept hidden for many years, the unseen struggles that had shaped his daughters' lives. Abby and Brittany's condition was far more complex than most people realized. They didn't just share a body, they also shared the experience of living with constant coordination. Each twin controlled one side of their shared body, and their movements had to be perfectly synchronized. This coordination was not just physical, it was emotional too. The twins felt each other's pain and discomfort. If one twin was sick or in pain, the other would feel it as well. This bond between them was both a blessing and a challenge. It made their connection stronger, but it also meant that they had to constantly work together to accomplish even the simplest tasks. Their lives were a constant balancing act, and every decision required careful consideration of how it would affect both of them. The future, a legacy of strength and love. As Mike and Patty look to the future, they continue to wonder what will happen when they are no longer around to protect their daughters. They worry about how Abby and Brittany will navigate the world on their own, but they also know that their daughters are stronger than anyone gives them credit for. They have faced every challenge head-on, and they have done it together. Their bond is unbreakable, and that is their greatest strength. Mike knows that the decision he and Patty made all those years ago was the right one. They chose to keep their daughters together, to give them a chance to live their lives as they saw fit. And now, as he watches them thrive, he knows that love, resilience, and determination have carried them through every obstacle. Abby and Brittany are living proof that even in the face of the most daunting challenges, the human spirit can triumph. Sure, here's a rewritten and expanded version of the provided paragraph, with more depth, vivid descriptions, and additional context to create a comprehensive understanding of Abby and Brittany Hensel's lives. The Hensel sisters, a journey of unbreakable bonds and individuality. From the moment Abby and Brittany Hensel entered the world, they have defied expectations and embraced challenges with unparalleled resilience and grace. Born as conjoined twins, their journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Abby and Brittany are unique, not only in their shared physical condition, but also in their ability to lead independent, fulfilled lives despite the odds stacked against them. Their story is one of love, unity, and self-discovery. But it is also a story about how their parents, Mike and Patty, have worked tirelessly to give them the best possible life, nurturing their individuality while respecting the unbreakable bond they share. Early struggles and the strength of family support. Abby and Brittany's birth was a moment of both wonder and concern. Conjoined twins are a rare occurrence, with a likelihood of about 1 in 200,000 births, and the medical challenges associated with their condition were profound. From the outset, the doctors informed Mike and Patty that their daughter's survival beyond infancy was uncertain. In fact, fewer than 1% of conjoined twins survive the first year of life. This statistic weighed heavily on the couple's hearts as they held their newborns in the sterile environment of the hospital room, surrounded by the scent of antiseptic and the hum of machines. Yet, amidst the uncertainty and the overwhelming flood of emotions, Mike and Patty chose to focus on what they could control: their love for their daughters and their commitment to providing them with as normal a life as possible. The medical community discussed potential separation surgery, a risky procedure that might give each twin a separate body, but it came with its own set of life-threatening challenges. The decision to keep the twins together was not made lightly, but Mike and Patty were resolute. The thought of separating them felt like a betrayal of the unique bond they shared. Coordination and cooperation, learning to live together. As Abby and Brittany grew, they faced daily obstacles that most children would never have to encounter. Their bodies were conjoined, and each twin controlled one half of their shared body. Every movement required perfect coordination. Simple tasks that most parents take for granted, like teaching their children how to walk or feed themselves, became monumental undertakings. But Abby and Brittany approached these challenges with a determination that was both inspiring and humbling. From a young age, the twins had to learn how to coordinate their movements to accomplish even the most basic activities. They each controlled one leg, which meant that walking, running, and climbing stairs were far more difficult than they appeared. However, their ability to work together was astounding. They spent countless hours practicing, honing their skills, and learning to trust each other. Their bond was unshakable, and through their efforts, they achieved what seemed impossible, taking their first steps, learning to ride bikes, and even playing sports like volleyball and softball. Mike and Patty were not just passive observers in this process. They were active participants, helping their daughters every step of the way. Mike, a true innovator, even designed specialized equipment to help Abby and Brittany navigate the world more easily. He crafted a bicycle with extra handlebars and pedals, enabling the twins to ride together, each controlling one side. Simple tasks like brushing their teeth, tying their shoes, and even playing the piano became team efforts, requiring trust, communication, and cooperation. Despite the difficulties, Abby and Brittany never lost their sense of humor. They found joy in the challenges they faced, and their laughter became a source of strength for their family. Embracing individuality, distinct interests, and personal preferences. As Abby and Brittany grew older, it became increasingly clear that, despite sharing a body, they were two distinct individuals with their own personalities, interests, and desires. From a young age, they demonstrated clear differences in their likes and dislikes. One twin was drawn to math and science, while the other had a passion for the arts, particularly English and literature. Their parents, understanding the importance of fostering individuality, encouraged these differences. They made sure that each twin had the space to explore their own interests, while also nurturing the deep connection they shared. Their clothing choices were another way to express their uniqueness. Mike and Patty often dressed the twins in outfits with different necklines or colors, ensuring that Abby and Brittany could showcase their distinct preferences. Even though they shared a body, these small adjustments helped the twins feel like individuals. The twins themselves took great pride in their differences. One of them expressed a preference for pink and girly items, while the other gravitated toward more neutral colors. These distinctions were not just superficial, they were a reflection of the distinct personalities that Abby and Brittany had developed over time. As they navigated life together, Abby and Brittany learned to make decisions that reflected both their shared and individual identities. Choosing outfits, for example, became a collaborative effort, with each twin taking turns making decisions. It was a testament to their ability to compromise and respect each other's preferences. This process of decision-making was not always easy, but it was an essential part of maintaining their individuality while living in harmony, social lives and friendships, building connections, and facing challenges. Despite their unique physical condition, Abby and Brittany led relatively normal childhoods, surrounded by friends and a supportive community. They were outgoing, friendly, and loved participating in typical childhood activities like sleepovers, birthday parties, and school events. Their friends quickly accepted them for who they were, and they made sure the twins always felt included. Abby and Brittany's personalities shone through, and they became beloved members of their peer group. Their ability to connect with others, despite their differences, was one of the many reasons they were so well liked. However, being conjoined twins also meant that Abby and Brittany often found themselves in the spotlight. They were no strangers to stares, questions, and sometimes even rude comments from strangers. Yet, they handled these situations with grace and confidence. Their parents had taught them to be open about their condition, but also to protect their privacy when necessary. Abby and Brittany understood that while their condition made them different, it didn't define them. They were proud of who they were and were determined to live their lives on their own terms. Despite the curiosity of others, the road to career aspirations. Teaching and education. As the twins entered their teenage years, they began to think more seriously about their future. Despite the challenges they faced, Abby and Brittany were determined to pursue careers and live fulfilling lives. For a while, they dreamed of becoming a pilot and a dentist, but over time, they discovered that their true passion lay in education. They both had a deep love for learning and a desire to make a difference in the lives of others. In high school, they excelled academically, overcoming obstacles like having one twin who was right-handed and the other left-handed. They devised clever strategies to work together, and with the help of their teachers, they succeeded in their studies. In their later years of high school, Abby and Brittany began considering their college options. They decided to pursue a degree in education, studying at Bethel University. Their goal was to become teachers, and in 2012, they graduated and began their careers in education. Teaching 4th and 5th graders, Abby and Brittany brought their unique perspectives and innovative teaching styles into the classroom. Their students were immediately captivated by their warmth, enthusiasm, and creativity. The school principal, Mr. Ember, recognized the special qualities that Abby and Brittany brought to the classroom. He appreciated their ability to offer a teaching perspective that was unlike anything other educators could provide. Their presence in the classroom was seen as an asset. Israenia and their students thrived under their guidance. The twins quickly became beloved figures in the school, and their influence extended beyond the classroom. They became role models, showing that determination, hard work, and a strong sense of self could help anyone overcome even the most daunting obstacles. The future, a legacy of strength and resilience. As Abby and Brittany continue their journey through life, they face new challenges, but they also remain committed to their mission of living fully and authentically. They have shown the world that conjoined twins are not defined by their physical condition. They are defined by their strength, resilience, and the unbreakable bond they share. Their story serves as a powerful reminder that with love, determination, and mutual respect, individuals can overcome even the most difficult circumstances and live lives that are rich in meaning and purpose. Their parents, Mike and Patty, have played an instrumental role in helping them navigate these challenges. From the very beginning, they made a conscious decision to support their daughter's individuality while also fostering the incredible bond they share. Their journey has not been easy, but it has been a journey filled with love, laughter, and a commitment to helping Abby and Brittany live the best lives they can. As they move forward, Abby and Brittany will continue to inspire others with their story. They have proven time and again that no challenge is insurmountable when you face it together with love, respect, and determination. The future may bring new obstacles, but if their past is any indication, Abby and Brittany will continue to rise above them, proving that the power of love and unity can overcome anything.